Hey, this is Scott of thewayofcoding.com. Today I'm releasing another piece of software through GPL version 3 licensing. This specific one is a pretty simple text compare program, but the goal with it was to make it as fast as possible with large files, easy to use and all that. I'm using two different libraries to make it function. So my code isn't like a ton of the like actual full code, but these libraries we can check out first before I get to my program. So here's my GitHub, but we also have diffplex, which is the thing that does the actual comparison of the text files. And then I use all of that data to make my interface function and everything else. So you can check this out if you want. It is Apache version 2 license. I'm using libraries through NuGet, so I'm not actually modifying their code, but just know that's what their license is. So you can check that out if you want. And the second piece of open source library code that I'm using is this fast colored text box. This was one that I found. It doesn't look like he's doing too much with it, like update wise. The last commit was 2021. So actually that is relatively recent. Anyways, this is a very nice text box control for Visual Studio you can use, and it works well. I haven't had any issues, so that's very nice. And again, this is my GitHub page if you want to check out my piece of software based on those, plus all of my code, of course. It's in C#, Visual Studio, WinForms, my personal preference these days. So this is what it looks like, the interface. You got the two color text box controls. You have two list boxes and very simple menus, so you can load your files and clear things out, or you can copy these list boxes to paste it somewhere else if you want. Yeah, let's start it up, show a few examples. So the interface itself is able to scale. That's kind of default functionality in WinForms Visual Studio. And you can maximize it. You can move these around. Just these and this thing here. So it doesn't save that. That would be future functionality to save positions of things and such. But we'll pull up a few examples. So these affiliate documents that I save all my links for my Photography Bonsai affiliate links that I make. And that document's getting pretty big. So I pulled out two versions we can just use here to compare. But you can see the differences. You can see that these files are pretty large, maybe 3,000 lines or so. And then it shows the differences between the two. Of course, you can copy and paste this stuff, but I think I have editing disabled because it just doesn't make sense in that context. But you can also click on these big lists over here and it jumps to that area of the document. So that's super useful. If you want to find something quickly, you can do that. And you can click copy on this. Let me pull up a notepad and then paste it in here. And you can see that that full list is copied into your clipboard buffer thing. But that's pretty much it. There's not too much to it. So you can clear. Maybe in the future, I'll go over my code. I could do a little bit here, but generally at least my goal here right now is just to show you a thing. If you want to check it out, the code is out there. GPL version 3 license. Let's try another document that's not quite as gigantor. Yeah, so this one gives you a better idea of changes more easily. Of course, it's got some coloring and stuff. That would be another good feature in the future, is to have different coloring. Give you the ability to change what colors mean what and such. It's all hard-coded at the moment, which I can show you. But it's nice, it's simple, it's easy, it works. Again, a lot of the functionality is really from those libraries, but I did do a decent amount here. So here are those color settings in the global, source file, whatever you want to call it. Whoops, I keep clicking on stuff here. But you could change those if you want. Or again, maybe someday I'll add functionality to make that work in a interface functioning program sense. But also, these, as I had mentioned, I'm using NuGet, the package manager that's built into Visual Studio, to pull down those libraries. And you can see details here. So those are the specific versions that I'm using as of the release of my own piece of software. So 1.71, 2.1624. What else can I show? Let's quickly look at some of the form code. Now this is all in one big source file. You could potentially pull this stuff out that's unrelated to the form controls. I could do that maybe in the future, things like that. But I am using background workers so that when you pull up, you load those files and you go through the difference process to compare the two. It's doing it in a background process so it doesn't lag up the interface. I feel like that's pretty much a necessity, but very easy to do with this type of stuff. I could potentially go over some of this code in the future, but that's really not the point today. It's out there, GPL version 3 license. So what that basically means is that if you do make your own version of it, you have to release your changes, your code under the same license as far as I understand it. So it just keeps it makes it available, it makes the source accessible, but it also tries to keep future stuff based on it free and open. So that's kind of the goal with that license. Yeah. Anyways, let me switch here. Anyways, if you want to check it out, feel free to go to that link in the description or whatever and all that. Scott of thewayofcoding.com. Thanks.